Hey YouTube, it's Marita. Welcome to another edition of the Nurse Lounge. And in this edition, we're going to talk about something that's very serious. Um, and at least I take it serious. And it's basically about the whole notion that C equals RN. If you want to know what I mean by that, okay. So when it comes to C equal RN, you will hear people, all kinds of people, professors, faculty, other nurses will say C equals RN, C equals RN. So what does that mean when people say that? So basically it means that as long as you get a C and you pass that class, that means you will have an RN. So that means you pass and you will, get your degree. This is true. However, C does not equal graduate school. So a lot of times that people need to think about, if I'm going to go back to school, what grades do I need to have in order to go back to school, get my master's degree and or beyond? So C does equal RN if that's all you're going to do, but 9 times out of 10, most people have not thought, I won't say not most people, but some people have not thought all the way through to know whether they want to go back to school or not. And so you could be setting yourself up for failure if you are just in that mindset that I just got to get through this program. Now, if you've already made up your mind, I'm not doing anything else beyond nursing school, then you may be correct. C may equal RN and you're good to go. But I have met many nurses who have said that exact same thing. C equals RN, come out with a 2.5 GPA. Yes, that's passing. Okay, you got a degree, and guess what? You passed the NCLEX, so now you're licensed. But now you about 5 years into your role as a registered nurse or LPN or whatever it happens to be, and you realize, you know what? Man, I want to go back to school. I want to be a practitioner now, or maybe I'm tired of being at the bedside and I want to move out of that. So how do I do that in advance? Well, of course you can do that within nursing. You can move out of bedside and do case management, all kinds of things, and still be a nurse. But sometimes people want to think about, you know what, now that I'm more time, I'm more mature, I'm older, my kids are older, whatever the situation may be, I want to go back to school. C equals RN is going to be detrimental to you. So I'm not saying that, you should be an A student. I was not an A student. I actually graduated with a 3.0 GPA from nursing school. Which means I made more B's than anything else. I made a few A's. I made one C, and that one C was in Adult Health 2, and that cardiac rotation or that cardiac chapter tore me up. I got an 84 on that test. It brought my grade down to an 84 point something, and an 85 was passing at that point in time. So, anyway, that was my first C in nursing school, but I did the best that I could, and that's how I came out. That's not the people I'm talking about. I'm talking about the people who they do absolutely nothing but do whatever it takes to get by, and they're wondering why their grades are low, or maybe they're not wondering why. They just want to get in, get out, and get working. That's great if this is who you are. But the problem with that is when you want to go back to school, you're going to be unsuccessful at that point in time, because schools are requiring, most programs are requiring a minimum of a 3.0 to get in. However, keep in mind, just like with nursing school, they can be competitive, which means you may have to have a 3.5 to even be looked at, even though the cutoff is a 3.0. So if everybody in the program who applies for admission has a 3.5 and you have a 3.0, you may be on the waiting list. We talked about that with the undergrad program, but this is true for graduate programs as well. So in order to be competitive, you need the highest GPA that you can get. Be mindful of that. Again, I'm not saying that if you are doing the best you can and the C is the best you can do, that's fine. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to the ones who can do better, can study, can learn, can do the work, but they're choosing not to because they have no intentions of doing anything else in life. You never know what nursing will deal to you, and you don't know what you're going to want to do in 10 to 15 years. And then I would hate for you all to ruin your chances of advancing because you had the mentality that C equals RN. So that's just my 2 cents. This is not going to be a very long video at all. I just wanted to come on here and say real quick, C does equal RN, but it does not equal graduate school. You need to govern yourselves accordingly. Thank you so much for stopping by the lounge. You all take care till the next time. Bye-bye.